So today, my claim is going to be that Elon Musk is a communication genius that could make millions as a public speaker. And what is his secret? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. My name is Randy Kirk. If you haven't been on the channel before, and this is the kind of content that you like, where you're learning about Elon Musk, learning about Tesla, learning about SpaceX, learning about all of the businesses and about the nature and capabilities of Elon Musk, then like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Maybe you want notifications for the future. All of those things help the channel to become more successful, bring more people into the channel, and that helps me to be able to make more of these videos. A few folks in the comments have been asking me questions about this and that, and yes, this is a money-making business, so please understand that. And part of that potential money-making income is from Patreon. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, that'd be great. I also am excited about Patreon because we're going to be creating a future together on Patreon. We're going to be investigating and thinking through what is the future. So those are ways you can support the channel. Obviously, you can also support the channel by purchasing copies of the Elon Musk mission for yourself, for friends, for people that don't understand Tesla. So communications. I've been involved in communications my entire life at a major level. I started public speaking in my teens, was on the debate team, was on the speech team, started writing books when I was in my teens, articles for major magazines in my early 20s, my first book in my 30s. Yeah, I've been doing communications for a very long time. At my heart, I'm a salesman and marketing guy. As a salesman and marketing guy, communication, whether that's by my mouth, whether that's by videos, whether that is by print advertising, whether that is by bus bench ads, or billboards, or trade show marketing, or just the packaging that you buy something in, all those things are methods of communicating. And so my entire life basically has been based on how to communicate things about the products or the services that I'm selling. So I see that Elon Musk is very much the same guy. He loves product. He loves ideas. He loves the ability to be able to set a mission in place and then sell the mission to folks that it might be following behind him in that mission. That is his big secret. It's the mission. It's his ability to communicate the mission. If you wanted to encapsulate it, he is an amazing communicator who makes his communication skills enhanced maybe by a power of 10 by the fact that he is so clear and so concise with regard to a mission that people want to follow. So that's about as concise as I can make it. You know, it doesn't matter what you do in life, whether you're a ditch digger, whether you're a clerk, a factory worker, maybe you're a miner, who knows what your job might be. Maybe you're a middle manager. You have to communicate. You need to communicate upwards to managers that might be above you. You need to communicate to your peers next to you in order to be able to function with full capability on the job, how to do the job better, how to become better at it, how to deal with other people that are on the job that might be bugging you, or maybe they're helping you. So we all communicate. We communicate with our kids. We communicate with our parents, with our children, with our friends. We're always in the business of communicating, sometimes with our mouth and sometimes with our body language, sometimes with a wink of an eye. Sometimes can be a great communication skill. Elon Musk is showing us how to do it. And he is even an odd person to be the one that is maybe the greatest communicator of our time. He has Asperger's. He stutters. He isn't the person that you would normally say, wow, what a great communicator. And that's what's the beautiful thing that I want to tell you. That's really the whole thing I want to get across to you in this particular video. Wherever you are in the curve, if you're an owner, if you're a manager, you need to communicate. And what is the best way that you can possibly communicate to people that you want to move, to do something that you want them to do, to become better at what they are, to become better as an employee, to become better as a friend. And and that is the key, is what are you expecting? What are you hoping to get from them? What is your goal in the relationship? Now, sometimes your goal in the relationship is just to be friends. Sometimes your goal in the relationship is you need them to become better at what they're doing, because that's going to benefit them. It's going to benefit the company. It's going to benefit you. If you are able to do that through a clear and concise statement of the mission. The mission in Elon Musk's case, we all know what the missions are. The mission is to become a multiplanetary species and to put some folks on Mars and start building a society there. We know that he wants to expedite, to accelerate the transition to energy sources that are renewable. These are clear. Everybody, practically everybody that has that's not living under a rock knows what Elon Musk is trying to do. And they're clear cut. They're straightforward. You can understand them, and he repeats them over and over and over again. When I had my manufacturing company, a plastics bottle manufacturing company printer, I would go through the factory I would say every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, most often multiple times a day. And one of my goals was to find something that people were doing right, to pick up a bottle, look at it, look at the art, and make a comment about, wow, that's really great art. That's who we are. We want to be the greatest printer in the world. And by doing that, I was motivating them to meet my expectations, meet the expectations of our customers, and to understand that that was the mission, was this incredibly high quality printing that nobody could touch in the entire industry, which made us the largest manufacturer of bicycle water bottles in the world, was because of our printing. So that was our mission, and it needed to be stated and restated and restated. There needed to be action behind the statements, and that's what Elon does. He says, here's our mission. I'm going to repeat it and repeat it. I'm going to repeat it on the factory floor, and then I'm going to act. My walk is going to match my talk. I am going to act in a way that you're going to see, I believe it, and that you're going to improve, you're going to move up in the company, you're going to get a higher pay rate, or you're going to get more stock options based on the fact that you get the mission, that you understand my expectations, and that you're going to move on those. All right, so I think you get the point by now. Communication is extremely important. Now, who are we communicating to? Who is Elon communicating to? Why is it so critical? He's communicating to the employees. We've made that pretty obvious already in the first part of this video. Number two, he's communicating to you and me as the ultimate consumer. That's why he has so many fans. He has more fans than the Kardashians. He has more people following him on Twitter than anybody except for Barack Obama, and he's just about to pass Barack Obama. And he was already number 5 before he bought the company. So he has been communicating on Twitter his ideas and his thoughts. And he has a very unique way of communicating, very pithy. Sometimes his tweets are 1 word, 3 words, sometimes just an emoji, sometimes 10 words. You look at my tweets, I'm using up the max. Although I know the max just went up to 4,000 words. That's really going to help me. But Elon's the opposite. His communication thing is to do it as pithy as possible. Boom, boom, boom. I should probably learn from him. Almost certainly learn from him. Who else? So he needs to communicate to the employees. He needs to communicate to the ultimate consumer. He needs to, sometimes he needs to communicate to his suppliers. Customers are easy. There's millions of us. But there's only so many great suppliers in the world. Take mining, for instance, right now, such a big, important part. If Elon Musk goes to a mining company and says, I need as much nickel, I need as much lithium, I need as much of these rare earth metals, whatever it is that he needs, I need you to start building more plants, building more refineries, creating more of this material, because I'm going to buy it all. If I walked in and did that, they would just laugh at me. Who am I? I don't have anything to back me up. Well, Elon didn't have that much to back him up 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Now he does, but then he didn't, but they still responded to him. Why? Because he could communicate the vision. He could show them, this is my vision and this is what I've already done. You can look at my history. You can look at the history of my company. You can see that we're executing, and we're going to continue to execute at this level. And in order to do that, we're going to need you as a partner in the future. Now, does everybody respond? Of course not. One of the things I would always tell, I've been teaching how to sell for my entire career practically. And when I would give a conference, or when I would do a room full of people, teaching them how to sell, I would give them the rules and I would say, you know what, it only works 90% of the time. I'm sure that Elon has gone to mining company after mining company, battery company after battery company, and some of them said no. The Russians famously said no, they wouldn't sell them a used rocket. So sometimes people are going to say no, they're not going to get your vision. They're not going to believe your vision. You're not going to be able to get them on your side. But if you're good and you're persistent, as Elon is, both good and persistent, eventually somebody's going to say yes. Maybe multiple people are going to say yes. And in this case, getting suppliers on board is more important than finding more customers. And he has done this masterfully. He has the suppliers on board. He has the best suppliers in the world. Who else? The best engineers in the world. We already know the story. The number one and number two places that graduating engineers want to go to work, according to every poll for year after year after year, is Tesla and SpaceX. That's another communication result. That's a result of the fact that Elon has communicated to the engineers of the world, this is the most exciting, most amazing place to work, and our mission is clear, and you should want to be part of that mission. Communication, that's what we're talking about over and over and over again here. In my industry, when I was running the plastics business, we were a manufacturer. We sold to wholesalers. The wholesalers sold to retailers. The retailers sold to consumers. We couldn't just communicate our idea, our vision, our product, our services, our capabilities to the distributor, because who's going to then take that information to the dealer? Well, the person that's going to take the information from the distributor to the dealer is the distributor's salesperson who's calling on the dealer. So we needed to communicate our vision, our product, our specs, everything like that. We needed to communicate that to the owner of the distribution company, the buyer who was going to make the decision or who was going to be part of the decision-making team. Then we needed to communicate it to their, once it was taken on as a product, we needed to communicate everything about our product and why they should sell it to the dealer, to the sales team. Once it was sold to the dealers, then we needed to communicate to the dealer owner, the buyers at the dealer location, and also the salespeople that worked for the retail store. We needed to communicate to that level as well. And finally, we needed to be advertising or doing something in consumer magazines in order to get people to walk into the dealer and purchase the product. That's a lot of levels of people to communicate to, and you need to be skilled at every level. I'm doing all of this entire video is designed to talk to you as a consumer of communication, as a person who needs to communicate, no matter what your job is, as to what and why it's so critical to be great at communicating. And then what does it mean to actually do that communication job? And it means you have a clear, concise understanding of the mission. The mission is clear and concise, it's understandable, and it's easily communicatable. And then the second step of it, which Elon does masterfully, is you should be the best expert in the world at what you're communicating. It doesn't take much. If you're not an expert at your products or your services, if you don't understand, if you're not an expert at the audience, the customer for your stuff, that becomes the next stage of communication. I was at a Rotary meeting yesterday, and I gave a talk. And after I got done with the talk, a couple of people came up and they said, you know, that was a really good talk. And we're not just saying that. It's a lot of the people that come here and give talks at our Rotary, they're not that great. And I said, you know, I've been there, done that, sat in that audience, and understand that sometimes these speakers are not that great. I know a lot about Tesla and Elon Musk. I've been studying it now for years and years and years and years. I've written a couple of books about it, as you know. And so I know enough to be able to get up and talk about it for 25 minutes. I'm an expert. You can become an expert on Elon Musk. You probably already are. A lot of you in the audience are already expert. You've already listened to the YouTube videos. You've already read the articles. You've already stayed up to date on the stock. You know the product almost as well as I do. Maybe some of you know it better. You could stand up in front of Rotary and give that talk. What about your own product? What about your own service at your own company? Are you that good at your own products and your own services? Are you able to stand up in front of Rotary for 25 minutes and convince them that they should buy your product or your service if it's right for them? Anyway, this is a little bit off the beaten path for what I normally do on the YouTube video, but there's a really solid reason for it. I hope it'll be helpful for you. That's what I've been doing my whole career, is teaching people how to sell, teaching people how to communicate, teaching people how to run their businesses. That's what I still do as a consultant today, is teach people how to grow their businesses. And the second reason is to further clarify what it is about Elon Musk, why I'm all in, why you're probably, heavily involved in the stock maybe, or why you just love watching the drama unfold, why I'm chronicling it, because we have a guy here who not only is helping us with regard to the future, but he's also teaching us, if you pay attention, he's teaching us how to be better, more highly skilled at what it is that we do. That's why I wrote the Elon Musk method. 16 different things that Elon Musk does that I believe teach small business owners and managers how to run their businesses better. That's why I wrote the book. And that's why I'm doing this today. Elon Musk is brilliant at more than just his ideas about the future. He's executing on every level brilliantly, and it's in ways that you can learn how to be even more successful in doing it in your career as well. Hey, if you like this kind of content, please please subscribe. If you hated it, you can tell me in the comments. If you don't agree with it, you can tell me in the comments. I love the comments. Those of you who are commenting, we're getting into conversations in the comment section. So please jump in there and I'll be probably answering you back. So this is what I do. I love doing it. I'm so excited to have so many of you on board, and the Patreon group is growing rapidly now. So please join Patreon. It's only $5 a month. It's been great talking to you.